Ah, I have been falling for 30 minutes!
Meanwhile, in another universe.
Wait. Yan.
Yeah, baby. Loki is a spin-off TV series of a scene from Avengers Endgame, where this fucker picked up the wrong thing at the wrong time.
He gets abducted by a mysterious organization called the TVA. Also Bureau. Kind of a weird word. It was like 10 times to spell correctly. We all know how Endgame set up all the shows for Disney+. Ang weird, bakit Disney+? Tapos may plus sign pa sa dulo. Bale, Disney++? Disney Pash Bash?
Grabe ka, Lil Bubuyog. Anyways, ever since WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think it's safe to say that we were most hyped for Loki. Endgame made sure of that. But hold up, how come this kid doesn't get his own show? How about Iron Lad? Come on, Disney. Do your job. Make some money.
Alain, kalma! Walk it off! Walk it off!
Dali.
Anyways, now on to the plot. Loki primarily takes place in the TVA and other timelines. We can see that the TVA is the Omnitrix, omnipresent. Anyways, basta palagi silang nandyan para siyang si, Santa Claus or something. Their job is to make sure that all the timelines follow their respective paths. Anything that strays out of the path is called a variant, and any timeline with a variant is called a branch. And in this case, Loki is the variant. So after Loki picks up the Tesseract, the TVA come in to take Loki.
You're now moving at 1/16th speed, but feeling all that pain in real time.
They take the Tesseract, they take Loki, and then they reset the timeline and everything goes back to normal. Or so they thought.
Oh shit!
Loki goes through this long, boring process. Bureaucracy sucks! He sees that the TVA is different from any realm or space that he has been in within the known universe. He gets a very detailed explanation from Miss Minutes.
Long ago, there was a vast multiversal war. Countless unique timelines battled each other for supremacy.
Basically, she explains that the TVA is governed by these omnipotent beings known as the Timekeepers. And basically, their job is to keep all the timelines from branching from the sacred timeline. And there was this big discussion on free will and everybody's role in the known universe. It got messy real quick. Anyways, Miss Mince then explains how the TVA fixes timelines by taking out the variant, pruning them in the process, and also pressing a button to basically reset the timeline. And what is pruning, you may ask? Well, they basically touch you with a rod. And basically, you will be sent to the end of time where you will face a being called Alain, which actually just consumes space and time itself. Loki then meets Judge Renslayer, who sentences him to get pruned.
But wait, who's this?
And his name is John!
Wow! It's Owen Wilson. Ka-chow! Ka-chow! Mobius saves Loki from getting pruned since he needs Loki for this case he's working on. Cut to Mobius interrogating Loki. He shows him what he was supposed to do instead of picking up the Tesseract. He basically gives Loki a TLDR by making him watch scenes from Marvel movies. Emotions, drama, tears. So wait, what? Anger? After all that, Loki is convinced that he needs a new glorious purpose, seeing how the TVA holds so much power. He then escapes after seeing how Loki's do?
Cadsi, stop it!
He sneaks around looking for the Tesseract, and one of the funniest things in all of MCU happens.
What?
Yeah, the Infinity Stones are just paperweights at the TVA. Fast forward a bit and Loki gives up and decides to join Mobius.
But maybe I can offer you something better. Fugitive variant's been killing our Minutemen. And you need the God of Mischief to help you stop them. That's right. Why me? The variant we're hunting is you. I beg your pardon?
I know. Shocker. We then find out that the Loki variant is actually a woman named Sylvie. She was captured by Den Hunter Renslayer, and that's basically their whole backstory and why Sylvie wants to destroy the TVA and the Timekeepers. Loki inevitably foils her first plan and escapes to Lamentis with Sylvie. The whole ploy of Lamentis was basically to just show the intense burst of chemistry between Loki and Sylvie. Yeah, but it's kinda incest, so I don't know about that. Anyways, they find their way back from Lamentis because the TVA captured them. The two of them are then separated into different rooms. Loki gets some much needed moral questioning.
Pathetic.
While Sylvie gets into the head of Hunter, this is where we actually find out that everybody who works in the TVA is a variant.
Keepers took your lives from you. From all of you. Your variants.
Fast forward a bit, Loki and Sylvie are sentenced to get proved in front of the Timekeepers. They end up fighting and they find out that the Timekeepers are actually fake and everything they know about the TVA is fake. However, they both get pruned, Loki by Judge Renslayer and Sylvie pruning herself, where they are then sent to the end of time. First off, we meet Loki and the other variant. They all have a different backstory. Classic Loki escaped Thanos, Kid Loki killed Thor, Crocodile Loki killed the wrong neighbor's cat, which basically makes him the best Loki, and Boastful Loki, who was kinda just there. Then there was this scene where we see how Loki changed and grew throughout the season. All the other variants started betraying and fighting each other while Loki just kinda looked ashamed and went away.
Beef-witted, half-faced scrubs! We had a deal!
Anyway, Sylvie ends up in the end of time where she meets up with Lightning McQueen and the Loki variants. Again, badass band name. Sylvie comes up with a plan to enchant Alain while Loki distracts it. Unfortunately for them, Alain went for Sylvie and classic Loki had to pull out the biggest clutch in the entire series. Alain ends up defeated and Sylvie and Loki walk towards his Hogwarts looking ass castle at the middle of the end of time. Anyways, pumasok si Sylvie and Loki dun sa loob ng castle and she bargains with Loki and Sylvie with an ultimatum. Yes, an ultimatum.
Meaning that you give me the whole tomato or else.
As per the request of He Who Remains. He Who Remains is the one who remains. You know, him. No, not him, him! He's the ruler. The guy in the chair. Not that guy in the chair, that guy in the chair. He's basically the Kong. The Conqueror. He's that guy. He reveals that he is behind the whole thing and he created the TVA and ended the multiversal war against him and himself. He explains that he harvested the power of Alain to end the war and keep the timeline in singularity. He then gives Sylvie and Loki another ultimatum, which is basically to let him live and Loki and Sylvie can rule over the TVA or kill him and all branches start going. And surprise, surprise, Sylvie went for the kill. So Loki and Sylvie end up with this quick fight, which was kind of lackluster, but He ends up stopping her with the thickest neck of all time. I mean, look at this! Look at this guy! He got one thick neck! He should have been beheaded! He uses Talk No Jutsu and they end up kissing.
Nice.
Nah, again, still kinda incest, so tread lightly, I guess. Sylvie pushes Loki into a portal and he ends up in the TVA. Sylvie stabs He Who Remains in the chest and he delivers one of the coolest lines in MCU history.
See you soon.
Setting up the entirety of Phase 4. Also, apparently Loki is in a different timeline now, which sets up Season 2, so...
If I could save time in a bottle.
Let's give Cadsi a round of applause for that recap. Hingal ka na? Loki Season 1 is probably the best MCU series to come out of Disney Plus so far. I say that because Netflix, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Loki, Iron Fist, Inhumans. Yan. Speaking of Daredevil, bring back Daredevil. It's like, why would you cancel your best TV show? Throughout watching, you can clearly see that they were inspired by a lot of time travel or mystery shows like Doctor Who, Lucifer, Stranger Things, and Sherlock. Also, what's with the mid-century aesthetic these days? We got this and Umbrella Academy and Peaky Blinders, kinda. It's the best among the 3 Disney Plus shows so far because it didn't end with a CGI battle. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Wanda. I was almost disappointed with the 5th episode with all the bright colors and magic shit happening on screen. But then we go to the last episode and holy fuck!
His name is John C.
The whole season feels like a slow burn, but like in a good way. We're introduced with the mystery of the Loki variant, which turns into the mystery behind the TVA, and it's a whole lot of fun to watch and you're on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen next. Not like David Fincher levels of, mystery, but it's good enough. You see this red end of yarn and you just keep pulling and pulling and pulling on it until holy fuck, it's Kang the Conqueror and oh my god, what's that? Timeline's branch, oh my god.
Calm down, Alain. Your nerd boner is showing.
Sure, the last episode was just them talking. Sure, technically, Loki plus Sylvie equals incest? Question mark. Sure, Owen Wilson didn't say wow. But in spite of that, it still shines through as a solid entry to the world's most expensive TV show, that is the MCU. Also, the show had some heavy commentary on some pretty deep shit. Like when they were taking a break, Loki and Mobius talked about how they each believed their own truth. Loki with the Norse gods and Mobius with the TVA and timekeepers. It shows how we all live different truths, religions, belief systems, etc. And how hard it is to convince others that what they know isn't true when it's the truth they've been living with their whole lives. Hashtag deep.
If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time.
Loki was already a great character even before his show. We got Loki from Thor, the Avengers, of course, and Thor Ragnarok. Fuck Thor the Dark World. This time around, we got a Loki who hasn't experienced those movies or the events that led up to Avengers Endgame. So, he's kinda like a blank slate.
Okay.
Sure, he sees it through the projector machine thingy and flash forwards through it all without the character development. But after that, we get a brand new Loki to follow who searches for a new glorious purpose in this crazy new world he's going through. Yeah, sure, he pulls the trick up his sleeve on several occasions, but that's just in his nature. There's a lingering feeling while watching that makes you wonder if all of it is all a ruse or a double cross by Loki or some other version of him. But then you realize he grows above what a usual Loki would be since he became more mature relative to that of the other Lokis. He actually ends up being more of a good guy at the end of the season. But with Lokis, you never really know.
On the flip side, we get to see another version of Loki through Sylvie. Yes, technically she is him. Not him. But she is her own person even though she's tethered to the Loki name. While Loki is mischievous and much more of a schemer, Sylvie is driven by vengeance and the will to execute her plans. She doesn't bail at the first sight of struggle, as, most Lokis do. She's the brawn to Loki's brain. Sylvie kicks down the door while Loki, he just stands back. She's the one who can't trust while Loki is the one who can't be trusted. They're perfect opposites, yet they coincide with each other because they're tethered by an identity. They're Lokis. As for Mobius, Mobius just wanted his jet ski, man. Just get the man his jet ski. Mobius is an example of what living a lie is like. Basically, I would compare him to Truman Burbank from The Truman Show. And besides, Mobius was a good friend. A really good friend, straight up. He saw the good in Loki and straight up trusted him even though his whole belief system was gone. Which is pretty crazy if you ask me.
Okay, let's get into the shit. As I've said before, among the Disney Plus Marvel shows, Loki has the most to add to the MCU. They introduced the TVA, we got a peek at what an MCU multiverse has in store for future installments. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Tobey Maguire. We got new versions of Loki, we got to see more of Loki's powers, new timelines, and of course they introduced the newest major villain in the MCU, with him. They don't explicitly call him Kang in the show, but deep down we knew. Let me just... yeah. Just for when I get it right. Honestly, Loki and Kang's introduction in the show made me lose almost all the hype I had for Shang-Chi. To be fair to the other MCU shows, WandaVision is great. We got a new villain with Wanda being the actual Scarlet Witch, which can be a great idea. when done right. I like how they used different eras of TV sitcoms to tell the story, and it was actually a unique way of making it, not gonna lie. Problem is, I didn't like that it ended with a CGI fight, but I guess it can't be avoided. Falcon and the Winter Soldier had the new Captain America, US Agent, and Power Broker. The theories floating around Twitter during WandaVision up until now with Loki are just crazy. I try to avoid them so I won't be disappointed with the real thing, but it's really hard to avoid. It somehow ruins the show and your experience a little because you're given false hopes through the theories. Maybe, I guess that's why I like WandaVision less than Loki. I mean, Jesus Christ, stop it with the Mephisto shit already. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
Loki Season 1. 8.5 Crocodile Lokis out of 10 Crocodile Lokis. Loki? Locos? Mga Loks? Loki Cakes?
Also, napansin nyo ba yung logo ng TVA? Merong hourglass sa B, tsaka sa A.
Grabe. Graphic design is my passion talaga.
Okay, bye!